Hey everybody, GravyTrain here. Another episode, GravyTraining. This is episode 3 of the Satisfactory Let's Play. So I've picked up, literally haven't moved other than maybe spinning a little bit since the last episode. In the meantime though, my pod did come back, so we are able to start loading up for this particular deliverable. So I'm going to need to kind of stock up on some resources first. Let's get some of this. Let's get some of this. And what I'll probably do is eventually automate these going into the same spot, everything into the same spot, so that I don't have to stress about that. I don't have to run very far. Alright, so I'm going to need to make some reinforced iron plates, which means I need screws. You're going to crank through some screws. I need 10 of them, so let's craft those. Alright. And it is well into the evening, on a Sunday evening. Pour myself some scotch and relax while we're playing the game. Drink responsibly. Adults, kids don't drink. So that gives us that. So that's what we need. 10 of those. We need 50. We've got plenty to make cables. Actually, what I might do now that I have logistics, matter of fact, I am going to do that. So we're going to pick this up. There's not too much. That'll give us everything in it. So basically what I want to do is I want to do a conveyor splitter. And I want to put it right about there. And hopefully that is reasonable. It is. So now I want, and I'm actually going to need conveyor merger, which I will put there. And one of those lines going into the merger. And then I want the storage container. That will be much closer. Put that there. And that goes in there. The reason that I'm doing that is so I can make a constructor. And I'm missing one of those. Got some screws. These. Let's make a constructor. Up there. So I'll run some conveyor belts to that. I'm going to make this making cables. And I'm going to fall down the edge of the hole. And then I'm going to feed this back into there. So that the output of these, so basically I'm splitting 50% into wires, 50% into cables. Where is power? It is unencumbered. Probably is not much. I need to expand the lines. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to expand this out like so. I'm going to connect that. And what was that connected to? Oh, that was connected to that. There we go. So everything should be up and running again. Speaking of which, let's check on fuel. Fuel is still okay. So now this should be filling up, yeah. So we're getting wire and we're getting cable. So that makes that convenient. So the idea is you shouldn't have to be going to your manual crafting bench and crafting like anything, ideally. The problem is getting it all in a convenient enough spot that it's worthwhile. Okay.
Additional samples are required for R&D to continue developing a defense-oriented blueprint. The creature has been named Phacocoirus plummeus cauda, or fluffy-tailed hog.
Go ahead and finish that one. It's going to take a while. The rest of these back. So this is what this part of the game is like now. Is accumulating resources. I mean, we could do some exploration. I don't want to go too far because I want to be able to mine the stuff that's going on here. And there's a certain point, I know that there's got to be better weapons coming. So until I get the space elevator built, which I will probably put somewhere right over here, it's big. I think I have the capacity or the capability to build it now. I do. So just to give you an idea, that right there is how big it is. So I don't have all the stuff for it yet. We don't need to craft it quite yet. But I will be doing that. Still going just fine over here. We might get to a point where we start doing multiple smelters or something. Take all those, start loading this up. So 50 cables, 250 wires, 100. Oh, no, it doesn't need any of those. I just need rods, so 100 of those. Need 33 more rods. And this technology will be done. And for this, I am going to need an equipment workshop again. I will put it down, hopefully more out of the way over here. Grab some plants while we're sitting around. Okay. Still need a little more of those. I have a feeling we're getting a little lower than I'd like here. Let's top all of these off. Okay. So that. That. And that. And let's also throw this stuff back in here. I don't quite need this many of these things. The rest of that is fine. Throw that in there, that in there, that in there. That. Really need a little bit more in the way of hotkeying. There might be some way to do it. I don't know. Actually, let me experiment with that. So if I do like Shift F1, Control F1, Control 1, Shift 1. No. It would be really awesome if you could keybind those. Or things like take all. Now I could do some sort of like voice macro thing. I do have voice macro software that I could just be like, alright, switch to this, and it just would. So I might end up exploring that, who knows. Almost. Almost there. Stay on target. There we are. Send that stuff into space. And now we can craft
Milestone reached.
that. So
Additional to an inventory expansion, you are now capable of removing foliage.
I need to craft a beacon. And it's actually good to have a couple of these are on you. Chainsaw. I'm missing screws. Alright, so I'm going to need a bunch of these. Alright, screws. So that's actually what I could probably do with the output of the rod as well. If there is a third, there's not a third iron here. Or is there? I mean, I could automate something from further away, but meh. There is iron right over there. I could manually load another smelter. That would perhaps not be too bad. That is not iron. Oh, actually, once I'm able to overclock it, that'll probably help. So that is what I'll actually aim towards first. There we go, overclock production. So as soon as the pod comes back, I have most everything I need for that. I can overclock that assembler or the constructor. I can overclock the smelter, and that will speed up that stuff considerably. Although I can probably just overclock the assembler or the constructor. This is a little expensive, but once I have the first one, shouldn't need to craft another one. And okay, so I need a bunch of screws now. I need more rods. So I need lots and lots and lots of rods. That will not be enough. Those. Oh, what to do, what to do, what to do. I'm going to harvest this and see if this is actually more copper. I have a feeling this is only surface copper. It is only surface copper, which is fine. Use of this stuff. So this stuff. Oh, there comes my rocket. Beacons. Okay. So that is that. Those together. So I just need 32 or 38 more rods. There's 33. So you can see more and more, like, there's less stuff that I have to build manually, which is always good. I need more screws than that. But this will allow me to overclock, which means I will need these. And that will speed things up. Alright, send those off into space. Now I can craft power shards. And I've got 5 of those. So I'm going to overclock this bad boy. So it's going to get 50% clock speed. I don't know if it actually affects power usage. I should be able to find out by looking here, however. Alright, yeah, apparently, I mean, things spike a little bit, but that's not a big deal. So that should speed up. We're not actually going through enough of these to matter. So there's no point in overclocking that. So this is actually performing. We'll overclock this, however. And we may need to overclock this guy. That is a bottleneck. And we'll see where we start getting backups then. So those are fine. We will, however, overclock that. So that gives us an increased potential. And we will overclock that. So that should also give us an increased potential. Alright. Now, let's grab the Paleberry.
Is a common engineering tool to assist you in your defense against the local wildlife. The blueprint is now accessible in Hub Tier 3.
Which we do not have yet. Paleberry. Search that. All right. I don't need jump pads, walkways. Part assembly we don't need quite yet. Let's go for personal storage. So this is a cool, so this gives us the ability to create personal storage boxes, which, as we're crafting buildings, will allow us to just pull the materials from the boxes instead of from ourselves. So I need screws. Need bunches of screws. That should be enough. And I don't want the object scanner. What am I missing? Oh, it isn't enough screws. God damn it. So the object scanner will help us find more slugs. It will help us find more of the healing nuts, things like that. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to need make some biofuel to run it. Means I need all of the rest of my biofuel, that's sulfur, all the rest of my biofuel out of here. Take this and that. Generate. I literally not have biofuel? I need to get biofuel. Oh well. Do this. And it needs biofuel. Why can I not craft biofuel? Damn it. Something else I need to unlock. What gives me biofuel? Utility. I need to unlock utility. Let's change milestones. That in there. That in there. Got a ways to go on that stuff. But biofuel is going to make our fuel go longer, so... Meanwhile... kill that guy? I don't think I did. There's typically one of those ranged monsters. Monsters, beasts, whatever, creatures. Right over here. Apparently he's on vacation. So I'm going to grab the coal. Don't need the coal yet. The coal is used to make steel. Basically carbon. That is more coal up there. I'm going to drop a beacon here. And should be able to edit. There we go. So this we're going to call Valley North. And always put your weapon back. That's the entrance to the Valley North. Just makes it easier to find waypoints. There should be another one of those cave entrances right up here. Go too far up in here because there's some poison areas that I'm assuming there's filtration for later on. What is this? More copper. I don't need the copper right now. I'm just going to call this Upper Mesa North. Since it's getting dark, I'll see if I spot any more of those slugs. I have yet to see the tier 3 stuff. I'm looking forward to that. What is this? That's just sand. Just kind of killing some time here while I wait for some production to happen. I don't know how big this map actually gets. Like, I don't know if you can actually do anything with that stuff over there. I guess you can. So here is the Valley South. Call it that. That is limestone? No, that's iron. He's pathfinding over to me. That's fine. Ooh. Oh, friggin' bird scared me. Sulfur ore. Or I guess sulfur. It's not ore per se. This is a change in biome. I'm going to call this will be Southwest or Western Passage. Want to be looking at that misspelled. All right, and let's head back home. Picking up biomass as we do. All right. There is one. And there is one. That's one of the shooting guys. We can probably just run past him, jumping periodically because they're really good predictive aimers. There's another one of those dudes. Why am I lagging so badly? I get hit, that's fine. I'll take it. Oh, I'm not going to get to that one so easy. That is a plant that spawns poison. Can I get to that one? I probably can get this one. Let's see. See what we can manage. So this is going to require climbing this one and jumping, yes. Okay, any more? Way the heck over there, but I'm not doing that right now. That one. I don't need that one at the moment. There's some sulfur. All right. Head on home. So it looks like, because there's a gap, that's still at max capacity though. But if I overclock this guy, that might be good. So he's actually not at max capacity, so that is good. Let's take all of these. Take all of these. This, that, send those up. Now I can craft
You have unlocked several structures
2 power shards, some biofuel.
Additionally, the biofuel blueprint will ensure improved fuel consumption of biomass burners. Additionally, you can now build the space elevator, which is integral to your contribution to project assembly.
Alright, so that's a good chunk of biofuel. So I'm going to swap in that. I'm also going to overclock this guy, so we have plenty of power. Then I'm going to craft biomass. And more biomass. And from the biomass comes the biofuel. So, get all of this going. I can just use that. More of this built. And I'm not going to swap that other out yet because now I can do this, and I can clear away some of these trees and stuff. And you'll see pretty quickly that I get a lot more biofuel material for this harvesting. So yeah, I got 1,000 wood, almost 1,000 wood, which makes a lot of biofuel. And still got a bunch of leaves. And yeah, so now I can craft biofuel, which will take a while. So actually, what I'm going to do is take these, craft some more screws. I'm going to need about 9 reinforced iron plates. Let's craft those. And I should have everything else I need. So I'm going to set up over here several things. I'm going to set up biomass generator. So this stuff can kind of be on its own circuit. Then I am going to set up one. For now, I'm just going to go simple. 2. And then put a storage container here. Let's connect this. And that's no good. Let's just, damn it. Just do that. Damn it. Oh, so a lot of times it helps to just get a little higher up into the air, which is one of the things the lookout tower is kind of used for. That's going to be a bad shape too. Maybe not. Nope. Alright. So this is going to craft biofuel. This is going to craft biomass. And this is going to take biofuel. And have to put down a power pole. Connect this. Connect that. Connect that. And put some leaves in here. And we can just manually change what that produces from. So I've got wood, whatever, but then what I can do is I can come over here and I can just throw that in there. Ow. And that'll start creating biofuel. I should also, and I will, let's create one more constructor. Let's disassemble that and that. Let's build a splitter. So it comes in from there, out of here into there, out of here and into there. We need a conveyor merger, which I am actually going to put here. That's going to be difficult. Merger. Should come from here to there. One side of this go directly to there, and the other side go into production. And we're just about out of time. So we will do that. We'll pull from this side, whoops, pull from this side into there. Pull from this side into there. Program this to create screws. And add a power pole, bring that to there, that to there, and now we should be making screws as well. So let's make sure that, yep, boxes of screws coming through. So we have everything that we're using is automated, at least for the moment. Should have screws popping in right now. We do. So we've got rods and screws. We have biomass. We have and actually I should, well, yeah. Real quick, do I have that going out to, I do, okay. That's coming out into here. So for the moment, I'm going to put, that's biofuel. The moment I'm going to put all that in here, that will eventually come back around. Take this, and just in time, put that in there. We're actually decent everywhere on fuel. All right. And I'm going to, I don't really need to overclock this one, I don't think, because I don't need nearly as many screws. Do I need to overclock that? It already is. I think for the moment, yeah, that's still good. That's still good. Alright, I don't have to overclock anything else. So, yeah, we had a really good episode this time. Lots and lots of automation done, a lot of foundational work, and we will be able now to go for personal storage next. I've already got some of that stuff in there, so I can actually just drop that down. We'll do that real quick. Close out the episode. Drop that in there. Send this off, and now I can offload some of these materials
Additional storage options have been
into
provided.
this.
Inflated your pocket dimension and developed a personal storage box accessible in the build menu.
Yeah, so all of these things I can now get to when I'm using the build menu. They'll just come right from here instead, so I don't have to have them in my inventory. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked it. Let me know what you think about the game. Hit a likes up, do all the YouTube stuff, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks, everybody.